Oh, man. Broncos
Damn.
country. Are we on fire tonight? Welcome to the inaugural episode of Horsepower Hour. I was about to call it Broncos After Dark, a new weekly show in the Denver Broncos podcast world. This is going to be the greatest podcast you guys have ever listened to. And I want to thank you guys for being here. This is going to be fun. You might be wondering, guys, whose idea was this? It was not mine, even though I worked way too long on this specific slide. Jeremy, Mark, we got to hear about what inspired you guys to do this and to ask me and Kodiak to be a part of.
Yeah, I think it got brought up when we did a live together. I don't know, several weeks ago. I think both of our wives were out of town, so we just had a whole bunch of time on our hands, which usually happens. And we just started shooting the shit. And then I was like, you know what? We're just gonna tell Kodiak to join, and we're not even gonna give David we're not even gonna ask him. We're just gonna loop him in and basically force him into doing this. And then from there, it just kind of took its course. But that's how it started. Shout out to Jeremy, man. He put together that wonderful video that you saw, and he's been heading it. So, but yeah, Jeremy, if there's anything else that I'm missing, man.
No, I think that was pretty much it. I think we were just like, I mean, this whole thing started by just honestly, like the whole thing started because I responded to you on a YouTube video where you're like, hey, if anybody wants to like talk, chat, chop it up with me, let me know. So I was like, I was walking my dog. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do that. I'll write him something. A couple weeks later, he saw it. I was like, sorry, I didn't see this. And we planned something and it was good chemistry. I figured it would be because I like Mark's videos. And then David, we got in touch with David, and then Kodiak jumped in through the loop, and now here we are, Horsepower Hour. Welcome to the inaugural.
Who says you don't make friends
episode.
in your 30s, huh?
Right?
Who says you don't make friends in your 30s?
Well, I guess we'll explain the little format of this show. It is a work in progress, but Kodiak's going to be the first one to kick us off. But kind of look at it like this. We each got a quarter of an hour, power hour, and we can do whatever we want during that quarter. So it might be a what if, it might be a question, it might be a game, and then we'll have an overtime period. So guys, if you got questions for us, maybe some funny things that I highlight because I have the magic powers tonight, maybe we'll discuss those a little bit in overtime. But yeah, y'all, please like, subscribe, join the chat, and go subscribe to all the channels, including the Horse Hour Podcast Hour, Horsepower Hour Podcast. Are we inebriated on this show? We're about to find out. You guys are about to find out.
Is this water?
Yeah. Go subscribe to it all. Apple Podcasts, we're not there yet. Okay. We're just on YouTube right now, but we're gonna get to it. Without further ado, we're 4 minutes into this thing. Kodiak hasn't said a word. Let's kick us off in quarter one, man. Let's get this thing started.
Absolutely. So for the ceremonious opening kickoff, I just want to say thank you all for having me here. And, I was playing college football all day today, so I was missing Pac-12 After Dark, chaotic stuff. Well, now we have Broncos Country After Dark. And I'm here to kick us off, and I'm here to kick it off with a question for all the guys. And I will hear from them, and then I will answer with what I would say for my specific question. But for my specific question to Mark, Jeremy, and David, let's say you were the NFL scriptwriter. Let's say there was a player on the Broncos, on offense and defense, that you could guarantee would take a leap next year. Now, leap, obviously, is not quantifiable by I don't know. There's not one right answer as to what would be a leap for a player. A leap for Clay Webb would be way different than a leap for a guy like Troy Franklin. So for whoever would like to kick us off, my first question for all three of you, and then I will answer at the very end, is what offensive and defensive player, if you could choose, let's say you're the NFL scriptwriter, you have all the tools, would take a leap in 2025. Whoever would like to start, I would love to hear your thoughts.
David, it's only right that you start, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think that this is a pretty obvious choice. Let's go to the secondary, right? I think we have maybe, probably, definitely better than New York Jets' best secondary in the NFL. So to me, this is so obvious. It is Damari Mathis. For him to take a leap, man. Damari Mathis, he is right now like the worst cornerback on our roster. He's like $3+ million on the salary cap as well. He's already dropped a rap album because he knows he's probably going to have to transition into that second career here soon. So I think if I'm the script writer, you go from, third, fourth round draft pick a handful of years ago to then coming out with a rap album, thinking your career's done, to then, hey, making a Pro Bowl, being our cornerback too.
I like it. I like it, man. I mean, I think he's gonna probably take a leap to another team, more likely. But
take a leap to the rap game.
Yeah, he's gonna take a leap to like Dreamville Records or something. Actually, not Dreamville. Dreamville's way too good. No disrespect to Dreamville. I guess I'll go now. So you talking about we're going to talk about defense first, or did you want to do your defense and offense, and then I'll take over on the defense? Let's do that. Let's hear your offense first.
Oh, I haven't even thought that far. So I'll keep this one fairly serious. Troy Franklin, baby. This man got crapped on so often. Sometimes by us. Now we do have A.T. Perry in the room. I do love A.T. Perry. He's got to make the roster. But Troy Franklin, if he turns into a 1,000-yard wide receiver like Kodiak is saying, we might be going to the Super Bowl.
I love it.
Yep. I like that.
I love it. All right. So, we'll go in alphabetical order. D was first. Now J. So Jeremy, you're up next, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I'm gonna break out the Jokic energy drink. I don't drink energy drinks, so we'll see what happens there.
I didn't even know there was one of those.
Yeah, dude, this is straight from Serbia. If you look at, they had to put like a sticker with the ingredients on the back in English because this is like Serbian goods right here.
Did they put some Jokic bathwater in there? Because I
don't want to know.
I would drink it too. Just keep it away from Clay Webb.
Yeah. Honestly, if Jokic went Clay Webb in his energy drink, I'd still drink it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's actually.
I think everybody in Denver would.
Yeah,
that's pretty decent actually. Shout out. All right, offense. I'm gonna go. I could go with two people here. I'm gonna go. I mean, he already had a very, very, very good rookie year, but I think honestly he can even do better. Devon Vele. I think he can really come into his own. And I would not be shocked if he finished the season wide receiver 2 for this team. I really don't. I think from the early signs that we've heard from OTAs and just his maturity and just where he ended the season last year, I just think, man, he could be one of those 7th-round gems for the next 5, 6, 7 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go defense. I'm going to go with another coming off a rookie year, my boy Jonah Ellis. Dude, I love Jonah Ellis. I thought he had 5 sacks and people completely forgot about him in the mix of our pass rushers. But man, he's another guy. Just give him a little bit of seasoning and I think he could explode. I would not be surprised if certain contracts are shorter than longer on the pass rush because they can see some of these up and coming pass rushers coming from behind. So Jonah Ellis, I think that's going to be your breakout player on the defense.
Damn it, man. I shouldn't have gone last. Everybody took mine.
I did want to add Phillips, real quick.
Go ahead.
Jared Verse and Jonah Ellis had the same amount of sacks last year. And Jonah Ellis did it on like a third of the snaps. 5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I felt like for me, Jonah Ellis was the obvious choice. So great call there. Zach Phillips nailed it. That's exactly what I was gonna say was Mims and Jonah Ellis. But I do have backup answers because I really do. I'm gonna plant my flag. I did this last year with Lucas Kroll. It definitely did not work out well for me. So we're gonna try it again. Hopefully, I don't have a curse. But I think the player that's gonna take the biggest leap on offense is Audric Estime. I think he's realized that he has a huge opportunity to actually finally get touches. He's obviously going to be in a crazy battle. Everybody's going to be talking about RJ Harvey, and RJ Harvey's going to ball out. Don't get it twisted. But a big leap for Audric Estime doesn't mean he has to be a 1,000-yard rusher, anything like that. It just means that he's got to be a very solid complementary back to RJ Harvey, which I think he will be. I think, Mark Ingram in his time with the Saints. I think like Pierre Thomas, like he was back in the day. Really a lot of different guys. Even Jamal, I don't know if Jamal Williams. There was a few others that are escaping my head right now. And I just think just be very effective. So I'm still a huge believer in Audric, man. He's still such a young player. I think he gained a lot of experience and like good experience and knowledge from last year. And I think he's ready to roll. And he looks like he thinned out a little bit. He looked pretty quick. So Audric Estime is going to have take a major leap forward for this team. And then on the defensive side, aside from Jonah Ellis, for the same reasons I think Audric Estime, I think it's going to be Riley Moss, man. Great video today by Kodiak breaking down Riley Moss. I think we really forgot just how good he was because, what we had most recently remembered, he was kind of coming off that injury. But Riley Moss is a dog. And to take the leap from year 1 to year 2 after basically not playing at all in his first year and showing what he did, I think his ceiling is so damn high. I think them bringing in Jahdae Barron is just going to help him even more. It's going to piss him off. It's going to make him really want to work. And they're going to, Jahdae Barron's ultimately probably going to be the nickel, or they can swap the two out. But I think Riley Moss is going to get picked on a lot this year, and I think he's going to make a lot of offensive coordinators, regret that decision. So I'm going with Riley Moss on defense.
Love it. Love it. Now, thank you all for answering my question. I know that there are a lot of great answers for this one, but I'm going to start with offense first. And this one, I think, is going to surprise a lot of people. But if you guys remember, Mike McGlinchey went down earlier in this year, and it seems like the absence wasn't that notable, mainly because we had somebody holding down the fort, and Alex Palczewski. Now, Palczewski taking a big leap here, this would solve a bunch of problems because we do have some long-term questions on the offensive line. A lot of people had said in Broncos country, hey, if we go Gray Zabel in round 1, wouldn't hate it. I mean, I would have, but that's a different discussion. But regardless, if we had a guy like Palczewski taking a step up, or Arjulo, or even Webb, it's not specific to one of these players, but we have a lot of guys in the pipeline. We didn't appear to have a lot of guys in the pipeline about a year ago during training camp when everybody was pegging us as the, worst roster in the NFL or whatever. But this is the fruits of a rebuild. Hey, Zach Strief is a great offensive line coach. So being able to get a guy like Palczewski, I mean, worst case scenario, if he doesn't stick at tackle, you just kick him inside and you can move on from Powers after this year. And yeah, obviously I like McGlinchey. He was a captain for a reason, but we'll see. We'll just see what happens there. And yeah, it's just nice to have some talent in the pipeline. And if he can take that step forward, that would be amazing. We haven't drafted a tackle in 8 years. It's because we haven't needed to. That's the thing. Now, on the defensive side of the ball.
I love it.
Yeah, I love this comment from Zach Phillips right here. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the love. Regardless, on the defensive side of the ball, if I could choose one player to take a leap in 2025, again, this just solves so many issues. It is Drew Sanders. We've had the theory of Drew Sanders floated out in Broncos country for about 2 years now, and we took him at a time where we did not have a lot of resources. We had just traded for Russell Wilson. We had just traded for Sean Payton. So our cupboards were very bare as far as the places where we could invest. Now, where they did invest and did end up spending an early third-round pick on, which was a premium pick for them at the time, was the inside linebacker position. And listen, with Drew Sanders, I've been saying it all the time, I never got the vision. I never understood why they did this, especially with a defensive coordinator that has a knack for wasting these kinds of talents, like Isaiah Simmons in Arizona, like Zaven Collins also in Arizona, like when he tried to make DeMarcus Walker like a tweener player. I didn't like that at all. But, the idea of Drew Sanders, it would just solve so many problems because, A, Greenlaw is not a guarantee. Like, as much as I love the signing, as much as I said that he was the number one player who I think the Broncos should go out and sign in free agency, Greenlaw's not a guarantee because of the health. I think he'll be fantastic, but he's not a guarantee. And Drew Sanders would just solve so many issues. Like, I don't really entirely trust Singleton. I was not really happy with how he played in 2023. I thought he was slightly better behind the revamped defensive line in 2024. But yeah, so with those two guys stepping up, Palcho and Drew Sanders, it would solve a lot of issues that we currently have to look forward to next year when it's time to rebuild our team and talk about free agency and the draft.
Dude, I love that. I did want to hit on some of the mentions here from the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was pretty interesting. Hydrama was bringing up, hey, who can be that elite center? Is it Luke Wattenberg, like Andy has said? Is it somebody? I think Frank Crum is more of a tackle, but yeah, is there anybody else like on the offensive line, whether that's Kodiak or Mark or Jeremy, yeah, that you feel that you would like to see taking a jump this year, that you expect to see take a jump?
Real quick, I don't want to see anybody take a jump as far as that we haven't seen, because that means we're healthy on the offensive line. But that's the hard part. They were talking about this on another one I was listening to, is just it's hard to tell what you have behind the offensive line because we've been healthy, which is good. Yep. But it's like a catch-22. Like, it's hard for those guys to show that they're great or whatever because they're sitting behind people. So, as long as the starters are playing well, let's hope we don't see anybody. But like, I have really good high hopes and expectations for somebody like Clay Webb. I think he's going to be good. Honestly, I think he's hit 3rd or 4th round talent, and the fact that we got him, like, I love that. And it's funny how Frank Crum and Josh Gargiulo were like boys with Drew or with Bo Nix, like at all the different events. He was at the Rockies game, they're at the Nuggets games, they're all the different I think they were at the Avs game too. That's a good person to become friends with if you're a Denver offensive lineman backup.
Wait,
so
Bo Nix and Clay Webb are best friends?
No. He's been hanging out with Frank Crum and Gargiulo.
Right. Oh, yeah. Wait, that's cool.
Yeah. Keep Clay away for now.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Frank Crum, man. It has to be, because he's got all the talent, and he looked awful last year in the pass in pass protection. Similar to Luke Wattenberg his rookie year, I think he can make a big jump. And also because I just don't want to see Matt Pert. And I know, David, you don't want to see Matt Pert. And so,
Yeah, I forget he's on the roster half the time, man.
I know.
Hopefully he doesn't even need to be on the roster this year.
Yeah, hopefully not. So, that would mean that Frank Crum would be the guy to, to really take the leap. So I think he certainly could as well.
Yeah, of course. And now I'm going to go with the guy already starting. I mean, the most shit-on player in Broncos country for no reason this offseason has been Luke Wattenberg. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it, especially because last year at this time, the center position looked really dire. When you have a 5th-round pick and a 7th-round pick battling for one spot on your team, which is a physically and mentally taxing position where you have to point out everything and you get the ball on every play too. Like, not just the quarterback getting the ball on every play, the center touches it every play too. Yeah, I don't know. It looked pretty dire, but guess what? I thought Wattenberg kind of solved it for us. Now, you could say whatever you want about his run blocking, but a lot of people saying they wanted to upgrade at center this past offseason. I'm just like, all right, Luke Wattenberg, who profiles like top 3 in every pass blocking metric from the center position. So if you're looking to upgrade from that spot, I mean, are any of the guys that you find realistically going to be that good? I mean, probably. Potentially, but you never know. And I'd rather just go with the guy that proved that he can do it and just bank on him taking a step forward in the run game, because we've seen with this coaching staff, we get a lot of unforeseen development with these players.
Yeah, sorry about that, Kodiak. I was one of those guys that was pushing the narrative because I think he's fine. But I think we could have upgraded. But right now, I'm good with him being the starter. I do think Clay Webb is going to be the starting center in 2026, though.
Ooh, that's a hot take. I mean, I would be down for it. But yeah, I've never seen a center who did such a good job at protecting the quarterback from like getting hit. Yeah, he's been absolutely shit on. But this was exactly what happened with Lloyd Cushenberry. So maybe this is the year that he can silence the haters, be a little bit stronger in the run blocking. He just needs
to fix that snap. He needs to snap it here. That's what was driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Bo is just sitting there making one-handed catches all the time.
Yeah, it's like a flaccid snap.
It is. It's like he's just giving him a diaper or something is weird.
Yeah.
For the first couple of years of the Lloyd Cushenberry era, I had coined him Lloyd Pushenberried because he kept just getting pancaked. But he finally showed up when his contract was coming up, which of course they do. But no, I will say like Wattenberg was better than I thought he was going to be. And I think it was because we didn't expect much. And then you didn't hear a lot from him that he's kind of didn't get elevated in anybody's mind. He's just still kind of like the weak link on the offensive line because he's not the high paid guy. He's kind of like the back burner kind of guy, but you're right. He was a lot better. And, there's things to improve, but like those are classy problems if you can upgrade from what he showed us last year.
Shall we move on to quarter 2? I guess before we do that, I wanted to answer this question here from T Fishes. Anyway, you guys can combine all the chats. I mean, we can see them all, but I think if any of the other guys comment, it just might go to their channel. Not totally sure, but anyways, I can see all the comments. I think these guys can too.
I can see them all. We can't select them, but we can see them.
Yeah. So yeah, we can see them all. But let's go ahead and transition to quarter 2. This is with Jeremy.
No, Mark is Q2.
Oh, my bad. Shoot. Yeah, that's right. I can't even read. All right, let me change that. All right.
It's not like you didn't make the overlay.
Yeah, I was going to say you made the graphic.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Y'all go ahead and leave a like on the other video.
That's all right. This is the preseason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
All right. We rolling?
Right.
So, Kodiak, thanks for getting us off to a hot start, man, in the first quarter. Hopefully we can finish out the first half strong here in Q2. So, my question to y'all is, and we'll go ahead and we'll start with David on this one.
Oh, man.
Is if you can bring back one former Bronco in their prime for this roster, you have to choose an offensive player and a defensive player. Who do you have hopping back in the saddle?
All right. We're doing one offensive and one defensive player?
Yep.
Is that what
of all time in their prime? Correct, yeah.
Okay. All right. Defense. We'll start with defense. This defense needs some attitude. They need somebody who's a little bit of a loose cannon. I love Aqib Talib, but we have Damari Mathis, so there's no need to have him on the roster right now. But we do need help at linebacker. Now, is this linebacker going to, help in the pass game? I don't know. But again, the Luke Wattenberg of this defense is Alex Singleton. Everybody hates him for some reason. I mean, the man's a captain. He can play without an ACL. But let's get him out of here. Let's cut him. Let's make all you Alex Singleton fans or haters happy. And we bring in the late. Well, no, he's still alive. Might be a little slowing down right now. The late. Oh, my bad. He's alive. Juiced up. Bill Romanowski, baby.
Hell yeah. I knew you were going to say Bill Roman. That dude would have an immediate season-long suspension in nowadays NFL. But I love that. He would be a gangster here.
No doubt. I would love to
10
see
good
Bill
snaps.
Romanowski on this team. He would start some fights, dude, that we need. We need that, man. We need a little bit of that nasty, that dirty. Is he slightly racist? Yeah. Yeah, he definitely is. Who did he spit on? Was it Shannon Sharp?
No, yeah. that was the 49ers wide receiver. What was it? JJ? No, it wasn't Stokes. I can't remember. Yeah, it was a 49ers receiver. It was Stokes. No, it was JJ. I think it was JJ Stokes. Yeah, I think it was.
Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, Bill Romanowski. That would just be a lot of fun. And I guess I'll go out off into left field on this one too. But I've been watching a lot of tight end film today and yesterday. Now I know he was kind of a bitch at the end of his second season. Was he sitting out? I remember Big Al and D-Mac talking about this all the time. But Julius Thomas, man, Julius Thomas was amazing when he was healthy here with the Broncos, and he was on pace before he got hurt to get in his second season. I think he was on pace for like 25 touchdowns or something, something absolutely insane. Give me a threat at tight end, Julius Thomas, baby, a healthy one.
Yeah,
right. That's a good one.
Crazy stat real quick before we move on to Kodiak for his answers. I saw this crazy stat that was like whenever Julius Thomas, I think he had his big season in 2013. Since then, combined, every tight end that's played for us, I still don't think has as many yards as he had in that one season. So it's been abysmal.
Wow, that's insane. That's
pretty cool. I don't know if that's 100% true, so don't quote me on that. You can maybe ask Grok or something, but yeah. All right, Kodiak. You're the historian here, man. Let's hear it.
So Eli here just said Danny Trevathan. That's an interesting one considering the amount of defensive players we've had throughout our legacy. And, Danny Trevathan, he was really good for what he was. But, I mean, I'm going to go with a different inside linebacker who I think was a little bit better. So if you guys remember in the 1970s, you remember what football was all about. Football was just violence, and it was way more violent back then. And guess what? Over the middle of the field was none other than Randy Gradishar. And listen, when you get a guy from the 1970s and you throw him in today's NFL, you got to know, it would just be absolutely incredible seeing what they would do. I think much like Romanowski, without all the racism stuff, he might also get a year-long suspension just because of the way he played and how violent he was. And obviously, one of the most intelligent and instinctive linebackers of the 70s as well. If you dropped him into the Broncos defense today, bye-bye Alex Singleton. Sanders, we don't need you to work out. Lavelle Bailey, maybe you could stick. But if you throw Randy Gradishar on today's defense, you have Greenlaw and Gradishar calling out the defense in the middle of the field. Man, you just got two guys who could play with their hair on fire, and I would absolutely love it. So that's my answer as far as the defensive side of the ball. Now, as far as the offensive side of the ball, plenty of great answers here as well. But to fix our lack of run game, how about one of the most productive playoff running backs ever?
The most.
Ever. Yep, of course. And we're going with Terrell Davis. So, obviously, we drafted RJ Harvey this past offseason. Obviously, we still have Audric Estime. But what Terrell Davis did in those 6-7 years, oh my God. It's just jaw-dropping. It looks like Madden's stats at the end of the day when you look at everything. And if we were to add a running back like that to this current team who had 2,000-yard potential, I could only imagine how bricked up we would all be just watching us run and run and run and run. So, yeah. There you go. Terrell Davis and Randy Gradishar.
I love it.
Wow.
Might
I add that if Terrell Davis was on this team, I might just squirt.
Play spray?
Yeah, let's call it that.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, TD. I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, TD was like, "Oh, really? They're talking about." Oh, now he's off. Dude, I've met Terrell Davis a few times, and that guy could still give us a 100-yard game anytime he wanted. That dude looks exactly the same. It's unbelievable. That guy is unreal. Yeah, well, I'm glad Kodiak went really risky and picked two Hall of Famers. No, that's what I'm going to do, though. Man, Eli, I loved Eli's choices, though. Tom Nalen and Danny Trevathan, those are undercover greats because Tommy Nalen does not get the credit he deserves for that run we had in the Super Bowls. Man, just what a gem that guy was. We're talking about centers. I love Tom Nalen. I'll go with the Hall of Fame for the offense since we're going to just go full on. And it'd be easy to, I love Bo Nix, so I'm not going to pick John Elway. I'm not going to pick Peyton Manning. That's come on. But let's go Shannon Sharp. How could you not pick the most prolific tight end of his era? That guy. And then he's going to be the mouthpiece on offense to get everybody going. I just love his energy. He's the initiator of the horse head that you guys see on two of the co-hosts here. He had that going after the AFC Championship game when we beat the Jets, and he was still concussed, and he's got the foam head going, and he's calling the National Guard on the Patriots, dude. Like, we just would love that energy, not along with the greatest receiving tight end of the franchise. So Shannon Sharpe would be obviously just a perfect fit. Defensively, you guys picked a couple of great linebackers. Linebacker has been kind of the obvious choice for us. So I'm going to go with one that is not a Hall of Famer, but man, maybe should be a Ring of Famer, Al Wilson. That dude just another guy I met after his career was over. I actually was at Elway's one time and he came in, and I was walking in, or he was walking in, I was walking out, and I was like, oh, hey, Al Wilson. And I kind of like gave him a little head slap, or like, or not head slap, but like shoulder slap. That dude was still rock solid. And I was like, these people are just built different, man. So Al Wilson, what a absolute just beast for us on the defense. I loved the way he played. What sucks about Al is he got drafted the year after we won the Super Bowl, so he never got one. But man, he deserved one. He was an absolute rock star. So if you threw an Al Wilson with our offense or with our defensive line and our secondary, that would be incredible.
My first real jersey was Al Wilson.
Heck yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You guys all touched my favorite Bronco of all time. TD was touched on. Second, Al Wilson. Shannon Sharpe is in there too. I love all those guys. So I love it. You guys knocked it out of the park, and it's still so hard for me. There was obviously a lot that I would take. I go back and forth, and maybe I need you guys' help for this, because there's two different philosophies that you could take on the defensive side that would make a lot of sense. But if you took Champ Bailey in his prime and you put him on this defense with Patrick Surtain, I swear to God, I don't think any teams would ever complete a single pass on us, right? But then on the flip side, if you took Von Miller in his prime, how many sacks would we have? We already led the league in sacks last year. So what the hell would that look like as 2015 Von? So it's a toss up there. I mean, seeing Champ Bailey and Patrick Surtain on the back end would be pretty damn crazy. Yeah, I'll give you guys thoughts on that. But on the offensive side of the ball, let's get this team a legitimate. I'm going to double down on that. I'm going to ruffle some feathers here. But we need an actual, real wide receiver one on this team. And RIP to the late, great Demaryius Thomas. If he was on this team in his prime, it would be amazing. An unbelievable weapon for Bo Nix. And the things that dude can do, I really think people just forgot what he was all about when he played. And so, yeah, I would take DT. One of the greatest blocking wide receivers. I don't think anybody's ever talked about that. There was a guy that we were playing the Dolphins. I forgot the guy's name. I think he ended his career, actually. He blocked him, laid him out so hard that I believe he either broke his leg or tore his ACL or something. And he ended the guy's career. It was actually really crazy. But yeah, man, RIP DT, that would be my choice. But what would you guys do if you had to choose between the two defensive guys? Would you go with Champ or would you go with Vaughn? And why?
Oh, I know without a doubt I'm going Vaughn, because he is our best edge rusher in history. Sorry, man. Right now with how it's going, Champ is the CB2. Is that a hot take?
No.
In his prime?
Blasphemy.
Oh. Sorry, yeah.
Dude,
yeah, that is blasphemy. Champ Bailey in his prime was different.
Yeah, I'm going Pat Surtain.
You see this helmet right here behind me? That is an autographed Champ Bailey helmet. Like, I got that for Christmas. That is my favorite player of all time. He is, dude, like Champ Bailey, in my opinion, is CB1 in NFL history.
Bar none.
Wow.
Bar none.
Okay.
I've never seen somebody like him, honestly. I agree with you. Thanks, Jeremy.
I just got to say, if you were to throw Champ Bailey into our secondary, though, like, I agree. Like, with our scheme being as blitz heavy as it is, it's not as dependent on the edge. Obviously, having a monster like Von Miller would be amazing. But what would be even more amazing is giving our D-line, our current D-line, a chance to get home, because nobody can complete a pass. And even when you do rarely get those occasions to, drop back for like 3 or 4 seconds or whatever, nobody's going to be open downfield. So, yeah, with how rich our franchise is with defensive back talent, like, I don't know. I feel like it's aching of Broncos country to lean towards the cornerback position. That's what I do in that situation.
I mean, it's tough because if we're adding to this team, I mean, there are two strengths. We already have the most sacks in the history of our franchise last year, and we had an unbelievable secondary. So it's two strengths. But let me ask you this. I mean, obviously what I just said about Champ Bailey, if you were starting a team with one of these guys in their prime and you didn't have an elite pass rush already and you didn't have an elite secondary, would you still be picking the same people?
Yeah, I think I would.
I would take Vaughn in that case for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, which one is the value? But
yeah, I think you just look at it like, regardless, like, you add one of those two guys to this defense, it doesn't matter who's the other linebacker next to Greenlaw,
Right.
It doesn't really matter who's like the nose tackle or any of that, because it's just game over. Like, the quarterback says hike and he's getting his ass whooped immediately. Or if you put it in the secondary, like, nobody's open, he's running for his life. So that's kind of why it shows that. But I get what you mean. Like, I probably would have gone for, like an Al Wilson or something, but I just wanted to kind of throw a couple different options out there. So
yeah, for sure.
I liked Eli's idea with Clinton Portis, man. I mean, he was only a Bronco here for 2 years, but he rushed for over 500 yards. Was it 500 in a game?
No. That would be a record.
5 touchdowns.
No, 5
He ran for 200 and I think like 230 or 40 yards.
Yes.
That was such a different time in the NFL, man. That kind of stuff does not happen.
Was it against
Yeah, wasn't that the one where he put on the WWF belt afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sick.
Why did I say 500 yards? Because it's Broncos After Dark.
Because it's Broncos After Dark.
We don't know what you're gonna say.
But I will say, as nice as Clinton Portis was, I mean, TD's on another level too. So
Clinton Portis was so nice that you got the greatest cornerback in NFL history in a trade and another pick for him. That's how good Clinton Portis was. I mean, the eras were different. Obviously, like, the way they valued positions back then was different. But like, people that think, we just completely, when that trade happened, the day that trade happened, Denver, if you remember, was walking around like, why? What the heck? Why would you trade Clinton Portis? And it took a while. Even Rod Smith, I remember calling Mike Shannon being like, what the heck? And then we saw Champ Bailey, and then we go, okay, never mind. We get it. But Clinton Portis went to Washington and tore it up there for a few years too. So Clinton Portis was the truth for real.
And let's not forget, Champ Bailey was the original Travis Hunter.
Yes.
Way before Travis Hunter was a thing. Because in college he played both ways and he was damn good at both. So
yeah,
I wish we played him more wide receiver.
Done it too. Prime could have done it probably too, but yeah, they both. Yeah. Yep. I agree.
They both did very well for themselves. Well, guys, thank you for letting me do the second quarter. We are going into halftime with a massive lead and coming out in Q3. Now we just got to protect the clock, control the game, something that we struggled with mightily last year as a team. We're going to go third quarter. Me up. Jeremy, what you got?
All right. So I'm going to title the segment Giddy Up. Now, thank you for everybody real quick in the chat. Dude, I love the fact that so many people, this is our first episode and everybody's coming in, joining, and you guys are like, it's like this is like our 10th episode, 20th episode. You guys got the vibe. You guys got the exact
135 people.
Jeremy. I love it, dude. I mean, yeah, you guys are crushing it. So even if you're in one of the chats where we can't pull you up on screen, thank you so much for commenting. We're seeing them all. So all right, quarter 3. My segment is called Giddy Up. Now, this is like a answer, like Giddy Up equals a yes and hold your horses equals a no. So I'm going to ask 5 questions to the boys.
Okay.
And they're going to either need to say Giddy Up or hold your horses on this. Question number 1. Does RJ Harvey rush for 1,000 yards this season?
Hold your horses on that one, good sir.
Hold your horses.
That's just yeah. Are we gonna explain why? Or are we just
give me. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I want to hear David's answer too.
Okay, yeah, give me your.
I was gonna say hold your horses too.
Okay, all right, 3 hold your horses. All right, Mark, you started, so give us a quick explanation.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with RJ Harvey's talent or lack of talent. I think he's certainly capable of getting 1,000 yards. I hope he does, so we can stop this awful streak. But I think he's going to be one of those backs that gets about 1,500 total yards. But he's going to do a lot of it in the pass game. That's a very Sean Payton-esque. You look at Alvin Kamara, he didn't have a whole bunch of seasons where he rushed for over 1,000 yards, but he got a whole shitload of production. So that's just how he's going to be used. That's really the only reason.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if this was like scrimmage yards or like a different question, then I would feel a lot more confident on it. But 1,000 yards is pretty lofty, especially because I don't think Harvey's going to be like that. For him to hit 1,000 yards, I think he would need to be like, obviously that big play threat, which he's going to be. That's going to be his role in our offense. But I feel like he would need a lot more carries, like on the downs where you'd more expect to use a power back, chain moving, clock, whatever. So yeah, I'm going to go hold your horses on this one.
Yeah, fun fact and shout out. I can't remember the guy who always brings it up in my shows about Sean Payton never letting Alvin Kamara rush for 1,000 yards. He's like always about it. He's never rushed for over 1,000 yards.
Yep.
That is insane. When was the last time the NFL had a 1,000-yard receiver? I'm curious. Did James White have an 1,000-yard?
Oh, you talking about running back?
1,000-yard running back?
Or yeah, running back.
I think it was McCaffrey. He did both. 1,000.
Yeah, CMC went 1,000. Or David Johnson? Did he get close? Or I don't know. No,
maybe
McCaffrey
paid for that CMC guy.
I know there was only 3. There was only 3 in NFL history. They were talking about this on the radio a few days ago, so that's why I know. But I don't know if there was other running backs that didn't have 1,000 rushing, but had 1,000 receiving. Kamara was close in that too, but yeah, it's an interesting question.
All right, I'm gonna go off the board here, and I'm gonna say giddy up. It averages out to like just under 60 yards a game he needs to rush for if he stays healthy, as we all know. Obviously, that will be the whole determining factor of this whole season. But he's just so freaking dynamic that I think he can get 1,000 yards rushing. I honestly do. I'm going to say giddy up on that. All right, question 2. Let's go. Let's start with David, and then we'll go clockwise. We'll just go David, Kodiak, and then Mark on this one. Does Nick Bonito finish the season with the most sacks for the Denver Broncos?
I'm going to answer your question with a question. Should the host of this show be sober? No.
That's giddy up.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Giddy up is
that's what I meant. Yeah, giddy up. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So my question didn't make any sense because the host should not be sober in the show. So, yeah, we should pay Nick Bonito right now. What are we doing? Freaking out about him becoming Vic Beasley? Broncos country, get your minds out of hell. We're no longer there. Just pay the man right now. If we need to cut him, the salary cap is going to exponentially explode, according to Zach Seegers, in the next few years. If something goes haywire, he blows up his knee, we got $25 million in dead money. Who cares? We're not even in the top 10 in dead money right now with the Russell Wilson cap hit. That's how set we are. Sign the man this summer. Okay, sorry.
No, you're completely fine. But yeah, I got to go giddy up on this one. Just plain and simply, I just think that he's just going to get the most opportunities to take down the quarterback. I know that our defense is very reliant on like swarm sacks, and it feels like that when we take down the quarterback, it's not just one dude making it happen. It feels like there's always like 2 or 3 in the mix. So obviously it is a team effort, but yeah, no, I just see Nick Bonito getting the most opportunities. Obviously, Zach Allen might have the most snaps, but I don't think we're going to do what we did to him this past year with his snap count. I don't think we're doing that to him again. But yeah, I just see Nick Bonito getting the most opportunities. I think that if there is one guy who's going to be subbed out, I think it's going to be Jonathan Cooper. I think Nick Bonito showed enough to where, you can rely on him to be the Batman in this room and even drop back in coverage, because his two most impactful plays for us this past year were pick sixes. So yeah, even then I just go with Bonito. Yeah.
Yeah, giddy up hardcore. I mean, he led the team last year in sacks, so he better do it again. He was third in the entire NFL. And on a per snap basis, in terms of like he played like 60% of the snaps, I think it was, or something like that. Yeah, I mean, he better be. He absolutely, I think, to take it a step further, I think he can easily lead the league in sacks too. He's got that kind of talent. And I agree with David, man. I think you got to pay him now, because if he does, get close to being the NFL sack leader or leads this team again in sacks, then his price went up a lot more. So get it done now, pay him up, and we'll be good to go for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to go giddy up, obviously. The question really comes down to, if we're going to be playing with leads, and you, like you said, maybe they're going to get some other people some opportunities later in games and not keep him in. And we have a lot of pass rushing talent on this offense, or on this defense. So you just don't know how these things fall all the time. But man, was it PFF or who was it that just ranked him as the 22nd best pass rusher in the NFL after being the third best?
What?
After getting the third,
it's probably
most
Nick
sacks.
Wright.
It was like, I don't know, I can't remember. If you know it, say it in the chat. I can't remember.
Anything Nick Wright says is just blasphemy.
Well,
Nick wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nick wrong.
Yeah, no, but that was just, I mean, I was like listening, I was taking a shower and I was listening to them talk about it, and I was like, maybe Sean or whoever's doing the negotiations over in the Broncos, maybe they paid off that writer to put him 20 seconds so they could push the cost down a little bit. That's the only thing I can come up with, because that's insane. Like, how can you get third in the league in sacks? And he had basically two pick sixes. One was technically a fumble because it was like a lateral or whatever, but it was basically two pick sixes to go along with the third most sacks in the NFL. And then you're like, oh, but he's the 22nd best pass rusher. It's like, that's all right. You guys are smoking crack. Okay. Question 3. Does Devon Vele capture wide receiver 2? I kind of said it earlier. This could happen.
Ooh, I hope.
Does he capture wide receiver 2 and end the season with the second most statistically for the Denver Broncos? Let's go counterclockwise. Let's go. Let's start. Oh, Kodiak hasn't started yet, so go Kodiak first, and then we'll go David Mark.
All right. I say hold your horses here. The reason I say hold your horses here is because there's just a plethora of guys who we don't really know what this room is going to look like structurally. Like Sean Payton himself said it. Like, obviously there's a lot of guys competing for playing time. I mean, if we're talking about like receiving yards, though, raw yards and raw receptions, Mark has brought this up a lot on his channel. Usually the guy who gets the second most receptions in a Sean Payton passing offense is the running back. And when you have one as dynamic as RJ Harvey is, then whatever. But as far as like the pure wide receiver room, I think I'll just bet on the field here, because obviously Vele showed a lot last year, but he kind of tailed off, after Bonex had his back injury. And obviously he was a very reliable piece, very happy with what he did as far as like a 7th round pick. But I think right here, I'll just bank on on Mims taking that little jump forward. I'll bet on Franklin taking that little jump forward as well. Bryant, we'll see. We'll see as well, because I think Jordan Humphrey technically was second on the team in wide receiver snaps, and which is just not good at all. But Pat Bryant is theoretically going to be replacing that role, and Sean Payton loves some big, reliable wide receivers with yak ability, no matter how bad the gaffes are. So I'll bet on the field here.
Yeah, I'm going with hold your horses. And I think it comes down, man, this chat. Hold your horses. I'm getting distracted. I'm going to hold your horses on Vele, because most of his targets are going to be going to Evan Ingram. Let's just be honest about it. And Evan Ingram is going to be amazing. And I think I just like the upside a little bit more for that starting outside wide receiver to be somebody like Troy Franklin or Pat Bryant. And hey, if Mims finally takes that step that we're all praying to God he can take, I think all three of those guys got better shots at being the wide receiver too. But watch me be wrong. Yeah. Mark?
We've all been there, brother.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say giddy up on this.
Woo.
Just because. But before I get into why, I want you guys' opinion on something. I might go off the rails here a little bit, but like,
okay.
Have you ever had something that, like, whether in your personal life, professional life, something that it always kind of like bothers you, but you're like, no, you just kind of forget about it, or you think like, I don't know, maybe that's not that good, but then you keep telling yourself that it's good, and then at some point you come to the realization that maybe you're right, and you just need to like move on from said job or thing or whatever it is. Have you guys all experienced that before?
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah,
that's exactly where I am right now with Cortland Sutton, man. And I think all of these conversations that we've had and everything that I'm seeing in the chat is saying the same thing. People are high on Mims. They're high on Pat Bryant. I'm extremely high on Pat Bryant. They're high on Vele, right? They talk about, some people talk about A.T. Perry and all that. And you're never going to know the true potential of all of those guys until you actually give them the true potential. So we'll save that for another time. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But the reason that I'm very bullish on Vele, and it's not just because of all the reports that came out, it's because he's the prototype of exactly what Sean Payton kind of wants in a receiver. And the difference is, and I feel like so is Pat Bryant, but the difference is we know what we're getting with Vele. And I think he's going to take a big leap. He can play all three receiver positions. He can really, he's very versatile there. If he's gotten better at the running routes, like people have said he is, he's super, he's going to be super dynamic. He's got ability to make all the tough catches. He's got great hands. There's no reason why he shouldn't be utilized a lot more. He's very reliable. And I think that he's just going to, based on that skill set, as Kodiak said, he's going to be on the field a lot, like the little Jordan Humphrey was last year. So naturally, I think he's going to get at least the second most targets on this team. Therefore, being the wide receiver too, both from a snap share standpoint, but also with the overall stats. But you know me, I love me some Marvin Mims, man. I think Marvin Mims is phenomenal. I was screaming all last year, if we remember. It seems like a decade ago, but it also feels like yesterday. Like, get this dude involved. But he's such a unique gadget type player. Like, I don't really care if he makes strides as a pure receiver or not. He's just a playmaker. So get the ball in the dude's hands and let him go. But yeah, man, that's the thing. It's such a convoluted room and it's so confusing. That's why I'm really excited for camp to be able to like have some answers. But I'm afraid that we might have to wait another season after this to truly get those answers. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go giddy up. Honestly, I don't know. There's something about him and Bo. Bo, when the pressure was on last year, he looked to Vele a lot. I think he just trusts him. And I just would not be surprised. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if Mims was that. I wouldn't be surprised that Franklin breaks out, especially that he's wearing number 11 again. And Pat Bryant's going to be a monster. I just personally never trust a wide receiver to do much his rookie year just because they're learning so much. You're drinking through a fire hose, So,
especially a 7th round receiver.
Potential. He was a 3rd rounder, but yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Pat Bryant. Sorry.
Oh, Pat.
Vele, yeah.
My bad.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
I was still dreaming about Vele. My bad.
Yeah, but Vele, like, that's the thing about him. For being a 7th round guy who, honestly, when he was picked a year ago today, we were all kind of like, we were almost looking at him like he's like Caleb Lohner. You know what I mean? It was like, he's just a throw-in like dude that we'll just see. And then he ended up being like the legit guy that after Sutton. So the fact that he already like made his mark to that, and then what we've heard so far in just OTAs and just what I don't know. I have really good feelings about him now, and he's just shown it so much. So, all right, let's keep this going. Question 4, does Bo Nix get into the top 10 statistically this season?
You mean yards, QB rating?
We all know that the national media, he could put up record numbers and they'll be like, well, he's probably 17th in the league. But I'm talking about like bona fide people that actually watch the football games. Are people going to look at Bo Nix at the end of this year and be like, he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL?
Giddy the hell up for sure on that for me. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Yeah, sorry.
Like Mark, I said, I think it's all about I mean, if it's just a matter of opinion, I don't really care about like the opinion of a lot of the national guys for sure. But like if you're looking at like yards or QB rating, I mean, he was already borderline there. But yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is he a top 10? The way that I rank, or my personal grade of like, is he a top 10 quarterback is if you were starting a franchise today and you were building for the present and the future, how would you draft your team? And I in my opinion, he should already be top 10, but I think he certainly will be after this season, no doubt. I think Bo Nix is loading, man. Just wait. I think he's gonna blow up. If you guys have like $100 laying around there, just throw it. Maybe you get it right on Bo Nix offensive MVP this upcoming season. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm telling you the payout's probably pretty good. So screw it. Why not? Maybe you get a cash out option or something.
Yes. I got to giddy up with this one too.
Did I just get an eye roll from Kodiak?
No. I'm thinking.
Because if we're gonna win the AFC West, we need Bo Nix to ball out, and I think our biggest threat, show it off. Show off your bow gear.
Oh yeah, just picked it up. Yeah,
your bow gear. Yeah,
that's Sanders, but pretend it's Bo behind me.
Oh yeah, definitely Bo.
Mine's upstairs.
But he's going to throw. Think about this, guys. Remember in 2015 when we had that amazing defense, we get 3 and outs all the time, and then Peyton Manning couldn't feel his hands. That's all I'll say. He couldn't feel his hands by 2015. So the offense was not scoring all the time. Now we got an offense that's going to be able to score all the time. So, Bo Nix, 4,500 yards passing this year. How does that sound to everybody, man? I mean, Zach Phillips already locked him in for MVP. Amazing. So
love it.
Giddy up.
All right. Broncos country might hate me for this one. And this is just purely based on the box score. Like if I'm betting on will he take that leap like talent-wise to where he can feasibly be ranked in those lists, 10th instead of 19th or whatever he was this past year, then yeah, I'll giddy up. But if we're just looking at the box score, I feel like our team is just going to be too good for him to really rack up these passing stats. What leads to like all these box score numbers, like as far as getting, top 10 in like passing touchdowns and top 10 in passing yards, usually teams that throw the ball a lot. And we threw the ball a lot last year because we didn't have any semblance of a run game. And, we had to do like short passes to, provide and suffice for that shortage of run game. But I just feel like the way our team is set up, I feel like since our defense is just way too good, since we are going to be playing in some gnarly weather games, in December or whatever, ideally January too, I don't think that that's going to lead to a lot of like box score stats to where we can, he's going to suddenly jump into the top 10. Now, top 10 is very, very doable with all those things, but I think the rest of the team will just be too good, to be completely honest. I think it's not going to be blowout city against all the bottom feeders like it was this past year either. But yeah, that's just how I'm feeling.
Yeah, you're saying like Joe Burrow is going to put up numbers because he has to put up numbers because their defense is horrible. Yeah. But we have RJ Harvey, we have some other people there. But our defense could be so elite, we might have way more chances to put up numbers too. So you could look at it both ways. I'm gonna say giddy up. You know how I feel about Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is. I don't think we even need to knock on wood, but I'll do it just in case. But sophomore slump. I just don't see it. I just don't see how it could happen. I mean, injuries can always happen, but he for what he showed coming out last year with like the weapons that were like not bona fide, as Paul said earlier, which I love. That's perfect. How could you not be so much better with Evan Ingram and RJ Harvey and Pat Bryant, and to add to that all those weapons, and another year in the system. Like they were saying, this is the first time since high school he's had the same play caller. This is this, same head coach, all that kind of thing. So, yeah, like you said, he is poised to just destroy. I think this could be, people who in Broncos country know how we all feel about it, and there's a reason for that. Okay, last question. The question that's what it all comes down to this season for us. Do the Denver Broncos win the AFC West? Let's start with Kodiak.
I don't think you guys can hear me loud enough, but giddy up. Absolutely, we're going to win the AFC West. Just looking at our division by division breakdown. Okay, let's see. Raiders, they did a lot of nice things this offseason. They've raised their floor, but they're kind of like Atlanta Light, where they spend a lot of high resources on a tight end and a running back, but that infrastructure is not really in place. The Chiefs, they got lucky this past year. Now the league is aware of rep ball. Now the league sees, wow, they got the piss beaten out of them in the Super Bowl. They really aren't that good. I think, they are the champion, the 9-time AFC West defending champions for a reason. But guess what? I think now that we and the Chargers have closed the gap, I think it's just going to come down to, who can get it done when it matters the most. And I have a lot of faith in this current Broncos team to do that. Sean Payton said it best. The best things that you can give to a young quarterback to help them close out games are a good run game and an elite defense. And guess what? Elite defense, check mark. And playmakers at the running back position, we added Harvey, and hopefully Estimate takes the next step. But I think we're going to be a much more efficient offense this year. Like, for example, I think we go into the Charger game with another 21-13 lead at halftime or whatever it was. I think we get it done. I think Sean Payton is no longer going to need to be reminded that he wrote run it at the top of his play sheet and then he stops running it. I think we're not going to need to be in like 3rd and 4 and panic because our tight end room sucks anymore. So yeah, now that we have Evan Ingram as a easy button for this offense, I think all those things are just going to lead to us playing that possession style of football, which is proven to win games when it matters most.
All right, David.
Wow. I hate to follow that up, Kodiak, but yeah, it's freaking giddy up. Don't forget, guys, we got a 3rd place schedule again this year. The football gods have blessed us. We've been going through hell, but we did things the right way. We took the cap hit. We got rid of all the guys. We now have been blessed with the richest owners in football. We got the best trainers. We got the best coaching staff. We gave everybody a promotion so they didn't leave. Continuity. We're great offense, great defense. And after we start 5-0, we make a trade deadline deal for Alvin Kamara. So then we have the beautiful 1-2 punch of him and RJ Harvey. And that is what's going to propel us through to the AFC West Championship. And shout out to whoever said that on my show. The idea about Kamara being a deadline deal. I love it.
Nice.
Damn. I got to follow both these guys up. I feel like maybe I've played the villain role this whole time, so I'll continue on that. I'll say hold your horses on this one.
Zach's
and it's also because
giddy up.
What's that?
Look at the chat. Zach is he's going diddy up.
Diddy up. Diddy up. No, I'm gonna say hold your horses on this one because I don't know. Frankly, I don't really. As weird as it might sound, like. I don't care that much if we win the AFC West. I care more if we make a push, like playing the 4th seed, the winner of the worst division winner in the AFC. It's probably not going to be like, that big of a deal for us. But anyways, the reason is because I feel like, listen, yes, we've had a great year. Yes, a lot of things are looking up and we've got all the reasons, all the tools, all the resources. We have the quarterback now to be able to surely win this division. No doubt about it. But at the end of the day, like we can't deny what the Chiefs have done over the course of the past decade. It's something that you just got to respect. And everybody else in this division has gotten a lot better as well, which I love. I think it's a great thing. Like iron sharpens iron. I think all the teams get better, and it's just going to be a hell of a division. It's much better than being like in the NFC South, where, dog shit basically, allows for you to win the division. So I love it, and I'm super excited for the season. Do I think we have a really good chance of winning the division? Yes. Would I bet on it? I probably would. But I don't. I think it's almost like irrelevant in a way, because I think we're going to be such a better team overall, and I think that we're going to be so much more like calloused and know how to win big games against these elite opponents, because that's what we struggled with last year, that we're going to be in much better shape heading into the postseason, whether we're the AFC West champs or not. So regardless, the arrow is sky high pointing right now for the Broncos. So we'll see.
All right, I went giddy up on every single one of these questions. For the inaugural episode of our podcast here, I'm just going to make it 5 for 5. Let's go giddy up here. And I completely agree with you. In 1997, we did not win the AFC West. The Kansas City Chiefs won the AFC West, and they had the week bye. But when we went into Kansas City and we took their hearts from them, and we went and pushed, and then went to the AFC Championship, we had to go into Pittsburgh and took them. And then we won our first Super Bowl. So yeah, it doesn't matter how you finish in the division. It matters what you do in the playoffs. And I think we all agree we're a playoff team. And that is what it all comes down to. But I just have a feeling the Chiefs era is over. Let's just hope. It could be the Chargers. I think it's going to come down to us and the Chargers, honestly. And yeah, I think we have some unfinished business with Harbaugh and Herbert. So I think it's going to be all right. I think we're going to do it. So let's giddy up. So that concludes the giddy up segment. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Wow. And we'll do it next week.
That was awesome. What a power hour. And now it's time for the fourth quarter. I'm going to give you guys just one question. All right. My segment called Buck Off. Buck off. What's one thing that needs to end in Broncos country? And I have a lot of them. So if you guys are still trying to think of what needs to end in Broncos country, I'm ready to go. But you guys just tell me. Does anybody know?
It's your quarter, brother. I'm good with it if you want to go, because right,
I'll get it off my chest. Then we'll go to Kodiak and we'll work our way to Mark.
Okay.
All right, guys. We're going to freaking win the AFC West. Our team is amazing. Hopefully we can stay healthy. But guys, we're in contention mode right now. We're not in rebuild mode. Stop talking about trading guys that have a real impact on this team. What do I still see now in June? Oh, we should trade John Franklin Myers. The goal is to win fucking games. John Franklin Myers helps you win fucking games. That's why we need to keep him around. Oh, we could have a 5th round pick for him, and then we won't have to pay him, man. You want to pay guys so that you can win games. Nah, we're not trading Cortland Sutton, Mark. I'm sorry, man, because we need to win games. That's how I feel about it. Broncos country, it's not about getting picks for a stupid rebuild. What's a 5th round pick going to help us do outside of trade for Alvin Kamara, baby? It's going to do nothing. Stop talking about getting picks. It's time for us to go get guys who can help us win. All right, I'm done.
Love it. I thought JFM. I thought the F in JFM stood for the F word. So
yeah, sorry.
That makes sense. No, you're good.
Yeah, of course.
He's not PFM. He's not at that level yet.
Well, he's the minister of violence or whatever they call ambassador of violence. So that's something.
Yeah. No, JFM's a stud, man.
Yeah,
I think he's a great player.
Yeah. JFM.
But I hear you loud and clear, David. I hear you loud and clear.
I'm with you, David. That is perfect.
It's the JFM one that pisses me off more than Court, because it's just like, if the Eagles teach you anything, it's pass rushers, man.
Yeah, no, that I would be fully in agreement with. Kodiak, do you have anything on your mind?
Oh yeah, I got something on my mind. Listen, I was right here on this bed watching the NFL draft in 2020, and I have never been more excited for a player that we drafted than Jerry Jeudy. But guys, you got to move on. You got to move on. I'm in a Twitter group chat where I shit you not. Every single day I see something about, oh, we should have kept him. Oh, like whatever. Like, are we just completely brainwashing ourselves into like thinking that his tenure here was like entirely flawless and good? There's a reason the Broncos wanted to move on from him. Like, listen, I know that there should be some respect for his performance against our defense, regardless of like Levi Wallace or whatever. But in reality, we drafted him to be on par with the CeeDee Lambs. We drafted him to be on par with the Justin Jeffersons of the world. And did he show that at all? No. And the one thing I will say is that we did not do him that many favors here. You know, we brought in Pat Shurmur, obviously, and, you know, he was an absolute disaster of an offensive coordinator, had the Hackett era and whatever. But, you know, I think obviously we did no wrong keeping Sutton, but Sutton and Jeudy were from the same era. And, you know, Jeudy tweeting out after games, oh, at least I got my cardio in or whatever. Whereas Sutton has gone years where there have been weeks where he was playing with a horrible quarterback, even with Bridgewater. You know, he would get like one target a game and you never heard a peep from him. You never heard a peep from him. If we won the game, he was just like, don't care, we won. So Jeudy is the ultimate, like, me first kind of guy. The fact that he was celebrating his performance against us and still does to this day so hard on social media, like, it just shows you where his priorities are as a player. So please, Broncos country, the Jerry Jeudy thing, it's like it's like having an ex-girlfriend that you like talk about and you still think about and you're just like, guys, I had this, whatever. I'm just like, dude, okay, that's fine. You can be not happy with how it turned out or whatever, but at the end of the day, he's gone. He's like not one of us anymore. So do not celebrate him. Like, I remember seeing Broncos fans in his Twitch stream like be like, oh, he dropped 200 yards on the depoy's head. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you need to remove your blue and orange fan card if you're doing that and celebrating on Twitch that hard that he had that level of performance just because you want to be proven right. Like, oh, we shouldn't have traded him. Okay, cool. You think we shouldn't have traded him. That doesn't mean you have to, like, gas up whatever he did against our defense. I don't know. That just needs to stop right away, guys. Jerry Jeudy is not coming back anytime soon. So don't assume that he's like one of us still. It's not 2022. You can't celebrate his big games anymore.
Man, I love that.
That's a good one. That's a really good one, Kodiak.
That is a really
You're absolutely right.
You guys probably haven't heard this, but there's an old song from, I think, probably in the 50s or maybe early 60s by a country artist named George Jones. And he had a song called She Thinks I Still Care. And the whole song, he's talking about all of these reasons why his ex thinks that he still cares. And it's because he talks about her at the bar that he goes to. And he mentioned her this. And he's the one. What's so awesome about the song is he's the one that's in denial about it. He obviously does if he's doing all this stuff, but his whole point of this song is that he's saying, what's her problem? Obviously, I don't care about her anymore. And that's Broncos country, Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, a lot of people converted to Judaism when we drafted him, and that was like, they can't let it go. They can't let it go.
When he wore that Star of David.
Yes, which is like, I'm sorry, dude, but like, that's somebody's like, that's like a race and a religion. You can't like just, I don't know. All right, well,
he said because people call me Jew. I'm like, okay, man.
Well, thank goodness they didn't call you something else.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
What are you gonna wear around your neck? Like, that's crazy. I don't know. Yeah. The reason he's not on the team, honestly, is not because he didn't have talent. It's because of all the other stuff, like you just said. And that was the stuff that doesn't jive with Sean Payton and this team. This team is built with team first mentality guys, and it's not about like the look at me. Like, it was so cringe watching him just walk in to, like, you know how they'd show like everybody walking into the stadium and saying, hey, what are fans? And most people are just wearing like, you know, designer jeans, or but his stuff was like, his whole week was prepping for that walk-in more than it was for like the actual on the field. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I couldn't take it. Dude. All right, that's the last of.
Well, I want to pile on and say, remember, you know, he also turned down Steve Smith, one of the best wide receivers of my generation. Didn't want any of his advice, man. You know, you deserve to be in Cleveland with that attitude.
Can I say something to that in response? Steve Smith told the Panthers to draft Jonathan Mingo when they called him and asked him. So like, I don't put a lot of stock into his opinion, like, to be completely honest. Like, I respect what he did as an NFL legend, but like, I don't.
Maybe he hates the Panthers, bro.
Yeah, maybe
That's
he does.
true.
Maybe he hates his old team. Maybe
Double
he's
agent.
like Baltimore for life.
And if you're an organization and you're calling a player and you say, who should we draft? Just fire yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, that GM did get fired like not that long after, so maybe that's why.
Maybe you hated the GM.
Dude, that's too
Maybe.
funny. Jonathan
Speaking of
Mingo.
GMs, one thing that needs to end in Broncos country is this George Payton slander, bro. I don't get it. I don't understand
This is all
it.
just a giant
Listen.
subtweet to respect my codes.
Yeah.
That's all this show is.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I know that George Payton obviously made some bad decisions, but I think he's made significantly more good ones in his time as GM here. I think he's done a overall phenomenal job. And what I respect the most about George Payton is that when he's realized he's made a mistake, he's not afraid to just move on, clean his hands, and go. That is what good GMs do. They know they're going to miss, and instead of sitting there and just, hoping for the best, he puts another plan in place and executes on the plan. And also, a lot of people are talking, about the biggest mistake that he made, bar none, without a doubt, is obviously hiring Nathaniel Hackett. They screwed that whole situation up. But everything else, like trading for Russell Wilson, no one thought that was a stupid trade at the time. Giving the extension was very stupid, but that was an ownership call because they were like, we want to be able to, set that kind of a precedent. So don't blame that on him. He signs Randy Gregory, right? Randy Gregory sucked. He was fine to move on with him. And then he's been able to be very pliable and have a really good working relationship with Sean Payton, who by all accounts is very, very difficult to work with. He's phenomenal as a drafter. I think he's really smart with the moves that he makes. He's very calculated with a lot of that. And I think George Payton is one of the upper tier GMs in the NFL. And I won't take no more of this slander of like, this is all, the work of Sean Payton. It's just crazy to think if that's actually the case that, Sean Payton's making all of these decisions. It's not true by any means. And go look at his draft record, man. The guy nails it. So I won't stand for any more of the George Payton slander at all. Yeah, that's my rant.
Oh, that was
Well,
pretty beautiful.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Oh, go ahead.
I didn't say mine. I got too excited about the Judy talk, but I will say.
Oh yeah, I guess you didn't.
No,
Sorry.
Yeah, you just went off. You just went into Judaism.
I went into. It was a reflex. I'm like so used to it, I was going to say something different, but Mike just chimed in and he so nailed this. Mine real quick was going to be anybody with the let's ride like that. Let's just pretend that era just didn't happen.
Yes.
Let's just, that's over. I don't want to ever hear about that again. Like, I don't know if we need sage or whatever, like people think to do get bad juju out of it, but we need to that's over. Like no more let's riding, no more of that. I know this is like a horsepower, and we're a horse themed podcast here, but nobody's riding anymore. Like we're just, it's a different era. So I don't like when people are still, we're going right past it. But Mike's is perfect. Like if it doesn't even have to be PFF, it could just be whoever. It's just, everybody, the Denver Broncos slander is just so crazy that I'm now we have to just embrace this. We can't be mad about it anymore and be like, oh, well, actually he statistically was F them. If you guys, nobody wants to give us credit. We don't have the best cornerback because it's Sauce, right? Yeah, right. We don't have the best pass. We don't have a top 5 pass. We don't have a top 20 pass rusher, even though Nick Bonito is top 3. We don't have a great quarterback. He's 19. We don't have all of the things we hear. Just embrace the hate. This is where you absorb it and just become stronger from it. And let it fuel your furnace of ambition, as Norm Macdonald would say all the time. This is, learn to love it. You know what I mean? Learn to love the hate, because I'm almost conditioned at this point where it's if people start saying good things, I start feeling nervous. So as long as the hate's here, let's just keep going. I love it. I love proving people wrong. There's nothing more satisfying than going out in the field and shutting people's mouths. And Let's just do that more and more until we are on top. So that's what needs to stop.
Buck 'em. I like that. Buck 'em. Wow. Way to go out with a bang. That concludes our power hour, guys. But, now we got some overtime, which you guys feel free to stick around. Mark, I wanted to bring up your other question. Is that okay? Because I think it's a really fun question.
Yeah, absolutely. Please
All
do.
right. Let me find it. Have you guys figured out? Am I sober for this show? All right.
And if anybody in the chat has a question, that's like, that would be a good time to.
Oh, wait, this wasn't it.
Also, before that, too, another thing Broncos kind of needs to stop on is some of the terrible comments you leave on videos, or like irrelevant, crazy comments.
No, I like those too.
We can have an entire segment on that. But there's some people that they say the most random shit. I'm like, that wasn't even anything about what my video is about. So you either just like wanted to come on here and rant. If you want to talk about it, we can hop on a stream. If you want to,
you got to. Yeah, you're already.
But anyway, start that channel.
Yeah, you got to see your GI doctor soon, like that guy said.
Yeah, I'd be tripping. I'm sitting there googling shit. Like, am I dying?
Dude, that was good information. I learned something from that information.
Yeah, the hell's an indigestion, bro. I gotta go see my doctor.
I love how he's like, clearly you have it, Mark.
Imagine I end up like scheduling a colonoscopy because of a fucking YouTube comment.
Dude.
I'm like, sorry, but I mean, I know I'm still not at age, but tell my doctor, I'm like, this guy commented on my video and I'm freaking out now. So,
hey, take it as a compliment. He loves your video so much. He doesn't want anything bad to happen to you. That's what it is.
Yeah. And he paid really good attention.
Yeah. Clearly he's like Dr. House.
I should timestamp.
He's just like, I saw you kind of burped like 3 times during that podcast. Is everything okay with your indigestion?
Yeah, that was amazing. Maybe I had a soda, right before I clicked record.
Yeah, would you rather have that or comments or novel long comments about Jarrett Stidham?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, no, give me the indigestion comments over that. It's just too much reading.
Yeah, summarize.
Yeah, give me his cliff notes, dude. Like, I'll just copy paste ChatGPT, summarize the shit. I don't know what he's saying.
Well, on that note, you had another amazing question here. You wanna read it off?
Sure. It's who's the one surprise cut or trade you secretly hope happens just to see Twitter lose its mind?
Man.
Cortland Sutton, I'll go first.
Oh.
Preempted.
Oh my god.
Seems like
now,
here's
my thing. I really don't wish that happens, but it would be damn funny because I could just sit here and tell everybody I told y'all so. And watch everybody. This is Mark's fault. Blah blah blah. So I think that would be funny. But let me formulate an actual answer. So I'll let you guys take it if you have one off the top.
After David gave you that whole rant about not trading anybody because we were about to win games, now you're trading off our number 1 wide receiver.
No, I know that's why I said it. I actually do have my answer, but you guys can go ahead if you have one.
Man,
well, I got my answer. And with my answer, I would be part of the Twitter community that loses their mind because, I call this guy the franchise. But if Jeremy Crawshaw,
I was going to say this.
You said it. That was mine. Damn. Go ahead.
If he just sucks at being a punter and we just cut him because he's like, well, he's just a punter, you can go get Matt Hack, somebody else, man. I'm going to crash out about wasting a 6th-round pick on what's supposed to be a 6th-round punter and he doesn't make it out of training camp.
Oh, that would be brutal.
The Crawdaddy, he's not going anywhere. Come on, let's go. He's looking good. They said
that's a good one, though. That's absolutely a good one.
I would crash out about cutting the punter this year. I would. Yeah.
Man.
Well, while you would crash out about cutting the punter, there's another position on special teams that nobody thinks of. It's not kicker, it's not punter, but man, I do not want to go into next year knowing what our long snapping position.
Oh, Fraboni, I knew it was coming.
Yeah. If we cut Fraboni, oh my goodness, I would. Yeah, I think I would. Let's just say I would come on here to the next horsepower or my next Kodiak video And I would have some not very nice things to say about Sean Payton and George Payton. Listen, man, I'm about to get a Faboni jersey just because this guy means that much to our team, in my opinion. Actually, maybe not. I'm kind of tweaking when I say that. But listen, if you're rolling into this season with like an unknown long snapper, you never know what could go wrong. You never know what could go wrong. And, you know, Faboni, he might not fit the mold of what Darren Rizzi wants, but haven't we done this before? Like, I forget who our punter was in 17 that we cut from Marquette King. So, I don't know. I just don't want this to happen again in Broncos country where we think we're getting, like, this upgrade or whatever. Faboni's awesome. He looks like a supervillain in a Nickelodeon movie. Like, you guys probably don't even know what he looks like, but just look him up. And I would lose it. I would absolutely lose it. My heart would be ripped out.
The best part about Kodiak is I never know if he's being serious or if he's trolling. And that's his special gift. Because I'm laughing and I'm like, oh, hold on. He might be dead ass serious. I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
Wait, dude, what is up with this guy's face? Auto-generated.
He looks like Jafar, bro.
Like,
he looks just like Jafar.
I know, but you want your
I've seen that.
to look like that.
Yeah, you do. That's an ideal long snapper face.
That's an ideal build. Like, he's scared opposing defensive linemen that try to like jump over him, even though you can't do that anymore. But still,
he's the sorcerer of the long snapping game.
Exactly.
Fabroni's no jabroni is what you're saying.
Yeah, this guy is creepy. I mean, sorry, I thought I was on this one. I mean, here's a better view.
Yeah.
That is epic. He looks like he's staring into your soul.
It does. I feel uncomfortable.
Dude, he looks like the original Joker.
Yeah. If you were sitting on the subway and there was like you and him only in the car and like he was just looking at you with that look on his face, like that's nightmare fuel right there.
Dang. Okay.
All right. I'll go. And I don't want to see this happen. It's kind of like Mark.
I forgot which way.
There we go. It's kind of like Mark's where it's just like just to watch like Broncos country meltdown. But I will go not a player, but I will go a coach. And someone said this earlier in the chat, and it's perfect, is Vance Joseph. Like, man, everybody is just full on one side or the other with Vance Joseph, and it would be a civil war. Now, I do think that Jim Leonard could step in and be awesome. So, like, it wouldn't be like, oh, my gosh, what's going on? Like, with Wade Phillips and all that back in that day. But, man, to watch Twitter explode if Vance Joseph got shown the door would be wild times.
Wow.
Oh man, that is a good one. I think it would definitely be a Twitter storm. I'm trying to think of something that's like realistic and might make some people go crazy and might make people not. There's two that came to mind. First one is, and somebody said it in the chat, was Mike McGlinchey. I don't know if Twitter would really freak out about that. I can actually realistically, I would say if there was any player that was like most likely to get traded, and I don't think anybody ultimately does, it might be him because of that contract, but it's also just one more year pretty much. So no big deal. And Palczewski would have to look like unbelievably good. So definitely wouldn't want to do that. But if we ended up parting ways and cutting Caleb Lohner and ended up signing Taysom Hill, I think that would cause a little bit of a Twitter storm. Because you'd have a lot of people that were like, go with the unknown guy, Caleb Lohner, he's got a lot of this upside, and they'd be sick of like bringing former Saints back. And there might be some other people that are pretty happy about that. So that could be another kind of sneaky one that it's like, man, maybe Taysom Hill returns to Denver, and we have to deal with watching him take some snaps away from Bo Nix. It'd drive me a little bit crazy, but Sean Payton's gonna Sean Payton, man. That's another reason why I think George Payton's such a good GM, because I guarantee you he holds Sean Payton back from doing stupid shit like that. It's probably a lot of guys. He's like, I gave you a little Jordan Humphrey. I'm not gonna give you everything. So yeah, that would be one.
Hey, who did we cut for Brett Kern years ago? Or who did we cut Brett Kern for?
It was somebody
Colquitt?
Yeah.
No, Corliss Waitman? No,
I think it was Wadman. Yeah, Wademan. No, Wadman. Colby Wadman. I think we had him first.
Wasn't
And
that
then
a
he shit the
McDaniels?
bed for a year,
Wadman.
and then I think we got Colquitt.
Wasn't that a McDaniels move?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he was amazing
And then
with
Brett
Tennessee.
Kern turned into all pro.
I think it was Wadman, and then we ended up getting Colquitt, and then we got Corliss Waitman. I think. I don't know. It's been a while.
But
Then we had Riley Dixon twice.
Riley Dixon twice. Marquette King, the most horrendous person probably on the planet. And then,
Yeah,
Wow.
big Dixon energy there. Jason has a good one. Benito, if you somehow don't want to pay the big contract and then you move on, that would be another firestorm.
That would be brutal.
I would be very mad about that
A lot of people.
That would be brutal.
because we should extend him. There are a few other questions here. I thought that these would be good. I highlighted these. Let's start with this one from Eli. I got a question. What's 3 snacks or drinks you need for your football Sunday?
That's a great. Tequila is definitely one. Every single Sunday, guaranteed. A bottle or a glass of tequila, depending on how the game's going, for sure. So that's a lock.
Yeah.
3 snacks is like, I can't, dude. I get
Cheddar
so
Sun
wound
chips.
up. I get so wound up. I will drink a lot of I'm an iced tea person, and I would go through an entire pitcher in one Broncos game from just nervous energy. But I can't really even eat. It might be the best food in the world. I'm just I'm just so focused. Now, if you're talking before or after, or let's say it's like a Super Bowl Sunday and I'm just casually enjoying a game, I'm going to have to go, I got to go wings. I mean, that's like your classic.
Queso.
Not pizza and I don't know. I'm not really I don't really snack that much during the Bronco game.
Yeah, me neither. A lot of people are not going to believe me when I say this, but watching sports is not a social thing for me. They're going to think I'm tweaking because obviously I'm on a podcast with all you guys. Talking about sports is a very social thing with me, but actually sitting down and watching the game, I'm not at a party. I'm not making food or whatever. I'm not so I'm just drinking good old water, whether it's regular, sparkling, I don't know. But yeah, if I am somewhere, then yeah, obviously we'll go wings, but yeah.
Man, I'm disappointed with you guys. I actually have 2. I have 2. I'm just so disappointed. You can't watch a Broncos football game without root beer right now. You can't do it.
What's the root beer of choice?
I'm a Barks guy. No
Ooh, there
doubt
you go.
about it, dude. Yeah.
Barks root beer is the best.
It is good.
Yeah, give me Barks and then Powerade.
Which is actually a perfect segue. You'll understand why. Because I do have a question that I wanted to end the show on.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm hijacking somebody else's question.
that's
We can
great.
add yours. For me, it's just tequila. I don't really care about anything else food-wise. All the usuals is good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna send you the question in the private chat here, David, so you can put it up on the screen. But try your best to just copy paste it really quickly and not read it, okay?
Okay, yeah.
All right. In the
'Cause
meantime,
I want it to be a
Cross
surprise
my
for you,
eyes
too.
while I do it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, I will say I'm with Kodiak. It's people think because we're super into football, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a Super Bowl party. Come on over, whatever. It's I can't focus on commercials. I can't I need to zone in. I need to lock in here. This is not a oh yeah, all right, I can't stand that. That's another thing. I just can't. I can't be small talking during a football game.
No, I watch it by myself. All right, here's my question, guys. Perfect segue. Maybe we can end the show. I put a lot of thought and effort into this one, all right? What is more likely to happen in 2025? Does Damari Mathis drop a hit record, and hit meaning its ranking on Apple Music, or is Clay Webb drinking a Powerade every day of camp without ejaculating into one?
Can I go first?
Yes.
More
All right.
likely? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
So As far as what's more likely, I mean, sorry. Have you guys listened to the Damari Mathis album? I don't blame you if you haven't. It's absolutely horrible. But I texted you guys. He did some lyrical wizardry. He was rapping about like guns. He was rapping about like stealing his grandma's Percocet. So,
wow.
I mean, it just wasn't anything that I think anyone would actually want to listen to. It was terrible. Like all the songs sound the exact same too. All the songs are like Papa Molly in my Sprite. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So with how much Powerade these guys consume during training camp, I mean, I know whatever. It might be a little hard to contain himself depending on what happens. But yeah, I feel like Clay Webb drinking a Powerade every day of camp without busting into one. I feel like that's more likely than Damari Mathis actually getting traction with his rap career.
I'm gonna go opposite. Like, if I have to do it, if I have to be the one to, we got to leave Clay Webb alone a little bit. Like, it was a long time ago. The kid's a stand-up kid. It's fun, but I'm sure, like, he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this thing resurfaced again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just following you around. It's like being canceled for like the third time. It's like, guys, I messed around and somebody did something. Something happened. So, yeah, I don't.
That's
think
why he's
happening.
my favorite player.
I mean, it's kind of yeah.
It's crazy.
He's my favorite player.
Why?
If he gets cut, I think David would be pretty heartbroken.
Yes.
Who would you be more heartbroken? Crawshaw or Webb? And one has to go, David. And you making the choice.
Keep Clay Webb on the team, man. I'll sacrifice Crawshaw for that, man. But Clay Webb, dude, I would. They say they don't do rookie hazing anymore, but I think we should bring it back
for one player.
What?
For just one player to even the score?
No, just all in general. So, so it might be Damari Mathis, but man, I love Clay Webb. He's a changed man. But if you think I'm going to stop talking about this, I never. I love it. I think it's so funny, especially now the lawsuit's been.
Hey, you know what I would do if I was him, David? Straight up, I swear to God. Ever had an opportunity, and maybe he's a starting center one day this year, filling in whatever it is, and we do a I formation, jam the ball into the end zone right behind him. He just absolutely takes some dudes out. I would do the jerk off in the end zone celebration. Just keep going. Just own it.
Lean into it.
Someone went hand him a Powerade from the sidelines, and he just chugs the whole thing.
Then chugs it. Dude, you're instantly got an endorsement, and now everyone's talking about something negative that you did in a positive, funny way. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm finding a Gatorade bottle,
deal,
banging it out. No doubt about it.
Yeah, man. Clay Webb for MVP.
Yep.
That would be iconic. It's too bad he can't get a sack or a touchdown because that would be the ultimate celebration.
Yeah, or maybe he drinks the football. You could do that too.
I mean, with what he did into the Powerade, I'm sure he's got plenty of sacks.
Yeah.
Dude,
I love it.
Number's Clay Webb, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know
what number he is.
63, I think.
I
have the weird number obsession. I think so. I can confirm that. But.
Yeah, he needs to pick a new number.
He needs to get.
Well, if we trade Mike McGlinchey, like we had said, 69 would become available.
I want it, dude.
The ultimate.
I'd almost be willing to trade Mike McGlinchey if it guaranteed that Clay Webb got 69. He's 64, by the way.
That's
64. Would you trade Luke Wattenberg?
Would I trade for what?
For a rookie Clay Webb starting at center.
I know, but what am I getting for Luke Wattenberg?
Man, I just made this question up on the spot.
David hasn't thought that far out.
He's like, I haven't gotten that far. I would. Just so Clay Webb can start. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I want to see him starting now. I might have to start getting with the anti-Wattenberg crew because I do want to see it happen. Might have to spread that.
Somehow, some way, and this could be due to just a lot of buildup since the combine, but I guess maybe since his pro day. But he's gained 15 pounds since his pro day workout.
Wow.
If the Broncos are actually putting the right weight on their website.
Interesting. By the way, talking about jersey numbers, somebody put RJ Harvey jersey number on his Wikipedia.
Wikipedia at 5. Yeah. Weird.
Thought that was interesting.
He's not 5.
No.
But
he should be.
I think he's gonna be, for sure.
I think he should be 4. Because like with those legs, he should be nicknamed Quad.
I think he's gonna be 4. I think he's gonna be 5, and I think Jahdae Barron's gonna be 4. I think Trent Sherfield's gonna change his number. Anyways, we can talk about. I know me and Jeremy have this weird thing about like jersey numbers. I know a lot of people don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah, you guys are real.
It's extremely important for me. Like very, very important for me.
Yeah. It just feels like the
to
universe...
this day, Jaleel McLaughlin's number bothers me. To this day, I know it's weird, but the 38 bugs the shit out of me on him.
So why he sucks?
Probably.
No.
It's just like a universal like. Okay, I haven't really talked about this before, but like, have you noticed just in life, whether it's with people in the media or famous or whatever, like so many people end up kind of being like whatever their last name is, like they kind of like end up turning into that role a little bit. Let me think of
you lost me there.
Yeah.
Some people, some people like, I don't know, like if your last name is Hackett and you suck, it's just like, it kind of just, that's what was meant to happen by the universe. You know what I mean? It was like, and then certain people's name, you're just like, that guy seems, it just, I don't know if whatever it is, but it's just like, you hear somebody and you go, that just seems like that's going to be something because it just fits. It just sounds correct. It sounds right. And then some people are the opposite. They could be horrible at their job and then they have their last name is like somehow like kind of tied into it. It's almost like somebody's casting these roles from above and this is the name we're going to give them. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
I can actually understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And to an extent, I think a lot of it's just like the perspective or like because something like,
is.
Clay Webb makes sense right now. If you think about it.
Yeah, I get it, name theory. But like, is the quarterback in Philadelphia always on IR?
Right. But maybe, but you could do it like, well, he hurts the opponents or something like that. I guess you could always frame it however you want to do it. But it just, I don't know. I've noticed that a lot where I don't know why.
Yeah, I need to change my name for hearing that. I need a rebrand.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to I might go legally change my name too to like wealthy billionaire. That'd be and then maybe like I would
and then it just fits. That. Yeah. Right.
No, but I know what you mean. I mean, even like nicknames, right? Like Big Nuts Lux, right?
Yeah, right. Like it's
with Will, like there's a lot of things that come from the nicknames. Are you tying that back into numbers, or is that just a separate conversation?
Oh, I am tying it back to numbers. Just like certain, it kind of goes along with the numbers too, like you said. It's just like certain numbers just feel like correct, and then other numbers feel.
And it's legacy, man. Like think about it. Even Kobe. You're like, did you like 8 Kobe or 23 Kobe? Like a number is such a significant part of a player's legacy and aesthetics and everything.
I agree.
He fishes.
I agree.
Wow. PJ lock nobody up.
Yeah. We had Devin Key, we had Key and Locke, and both of them did none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what happened to the guy behind me in the Bengals game?
He got mossed. Yeah.
Think about if Jerry Judy's name was Jerry Christianity.
Maybe. Well, then we got to keep him. What are we doing?
Who knows? Maybe it turns out well here in Denver. I don't know.
What if he's like Jerry Buddhism?
Yeah.
Jerry Booty.
Jerry
Booty. Who knows?
Yeah, there's some to it.
Jerry Booty. I love that.
Yeah, that's funny. Why did we never call him Jerry Booty? Because he sucked.
No, it's so perfect. It was like
Jerry
the whole
Booty is
time.
like the freaking Carl Anthony Towns of our wide receiver group. I'll say it.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Dude, he's still like everything that was wrong with our team. Jerry Judy.
Yeah, there is some energy going on. That's similar, but yeah, Jerry Booty. All right.
Yeah.
File that away. We don't need it. But that, as we said before, that era is over. We don't have to talk about that anymore.
Oh, guys, we forgot about the snacks.
Oh.
Well,
shit. Yeah. What do you? No, we didn't talk. We forget about the snacks. We said it.
Brownies.
Oh, brownies.
Oh, we
Okay.
talked the food, not
Like a
the
dessert.
snacks.
We
Cheddar
talked
Sun
about drinks.
Chips. Cheddar Sun Chips has got to be one. I mean, you have one. It's a wrap.
Whoa, Sun Chips. I didn't even know they still made Sun Chips.
Wait, yeah, Sun Chips. I love the tomato ones or whatever.
Yeah, any Sun Chip. Just have one. Try. If you have some, try to have one. I'll bet you $1,000 you can't have one. No, not a chance in hell.
I could do it. I like them, but I could do it for $1,000. But if there was just one, like if I was just walking by, I would have more than one. Yes, because they are delicious.
Oh yeah, drinking Coors is good.
Coors lattes?
Yeah, I don't know what that meant. And T Fish is going with the Hot Pockets. That is, man, that's risky business. Like I feel like I wouldn't make it into the third quarter before hitting the restroom if I was going Hot Pockets. But
Coors lattes. What the hell
for
is
you.
a Coors latte?
If I am gonna eat though, it's DiGiorno.
wow, really?
Not delivery.
Yeah, DiGiorno. Oh, well,
Not
I will go
sponsored.
pick up a pizza. You guys know that. I will go pick up a pizza, but not delivery. So that's why I'm doing DiGiorno. I'm doing frozen pizza, so I gotta leave.
So you don't have to leave the house.
Yeah. Chips and queso is always a classic. I don't know. I don't be snacking, surprisingly.
Oh,
Even
T-Fish
during
is-
red zone, like I have breakfast and then I just watch 8 hours of football, starve myself. And then I either drown in my sorrows and just eat everything away, or I eat in celebration. That's usually how my Sundays go, which I miss a lot because my Sundays now really suck.
Yeah, while we're talking about pizza, do you guys like Anthony's? I think Anthony's is very slept on.
I think it's all right.
My wife doesn't love it, but I think it's really, really good, actually. And
It's
if
just
you order,
$97 for a pizza, bro. It's crazy.
Dude, I never
It's
had
not that
Anthony's
expensive.
when I lived
It's about 30. It's like $24 for a large.
but
Yeah,
the
it is.
large is like the New York
Yeah.
slices.
It is
But
giant.
large.
It is
Yeah.
giant, so I get it. But yeah,
You
no.
know what I
think-
will crap on though is Bojo's.
Oh yeah,
Way
Bojo's not
overpriced.
that good.
Yeah, kind of overrated. I know it's a Colorado staple. Hate to, but it is a little.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Domino's is always slaps, dude.
Oh no, dude, we're at war. I'm Papa's, dude, all the way.
I like
Yeah.
Domino's.
Papa John's?
Yeah,
Really?
better ingredients, better pizza.
Nah, fuck Papa John's.
We're like, the show needs sponsors, everybody. We're
Yeah.
we're advertising for
clearly
everybody.
clearly we do.
Oh man, if we get a Powerade sponsorship for this show,
I think that's the one we're probably not gonna get after all of our conversations.
we got a new. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. What other snacks?
Do you guys remember those like mini Pizza Hut pizzas from like Target? Those are good.
Like personal.
The mini
pizza?
what?
Yeah, like the mini ones that like actually use the old
The
recipe.
Totinos.
No, he's saying were they branded Pizza Hut, but you
Yeah,
bought them
yeah,
like in
yeah.
the frozen
Oh
section?
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
I haven't never had those.
Wait, no,
Yeah,
like in the
smacks.
food court. Hold on, let me see. You guys might think I'm tweaking, but let me see if I can get it.
I've never heard of that, but I'm a pizza snob. I'm a food kind of snob a little bit anyways, but like my wife really likes Domino's thin crust. I would personally, if I had to pick between Domino's and Papa John's, I'd go Papa John's. But
That's crazy to me.
yeah, well, because I mean, again, if I was picking thin crust between Domino's and Papa John's, I'd pick Domino's. Oh, look at those.
They're like mini pizzas that like come in a Pizza Hut box from the Target food court. You
Yeah,
guys
it's
know?
it's the personal pizza from Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
You know,
they used to have
that
them at
shit's funny,
Taco
man.
Bell.
I used to get those when I was in elementary school if I did my reading log every Monday.
yeah,
They give us a
exactly.
free one. And so every Monday night I go and throw down. Those things are the shit.
They were good.
I didn't know they still sold them.
Yeah, you know what that looked like? Remember in like Back to the Future 2 when they put it in the hydrator and it was like that little mini pizza and it blew up to a big pizza? That's what that looked like.
Yeah.
You know who has like the best mini pizzas ever? Blackjack Pizza. And the one that's over by like my mom's house, like $5 for a personal size, 2 topping. It is the deal of the century. I hit that. That's my by far my most like chain pizza place. And Eli coming in with some
Blackjack
pretzels.
anymore. I used to love Blackjack.
Yeah, Blackjack's good. Blackjack slept on for sure.
I have a Dion's next to my house. I think it's the only one in Colorado, and Dion's is so good, and it's always so packed though.
yeah.
If you've never had Dion's,
I haven't
try
had
it. It's I guess it started in New Mexico and it's huge. Their pizza's fire. I ain't gonna lie to you.
When it comes, okay, pretzel talk. I got Utz over Snyder's for me, but Dots are very good. I just bought some Utz this last week because we had to.
Are those the thin ones?
They have like a thin. Yeah, they have a thin, and then they
I'm
have
not
like
a big
the stick
pretzels
ones.
guy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, pretzels can be kind of, if you like, Trader Joe's, if you get like the chocolate covered ones or whatever and put them in the fridge for a while, those aren't bad, but pretzels can be kind of here or there.
Guys, my count says 197 people watching us talk about food.
They're like horsepower hour. I
know.
Change this to like calorie
Snack
hour or
power.
something.
Snack hour.
Let's talk about cars or some shit.
Yeah. When they can start talking about cars?
Yeah, but guys, I'm about to pass out. This was so much fun, though. So thank you for everybody for being a part of the horsepower hour. Guys, I did have to make a Gmail account for this YouTube channel, and I accidentally made it our horsepower at gmail.com. Not going to be able to change that with the YouTube account opened. Sorry, guys.
One job.
So you can always email us at our horsepower.
Our horsepower, even though it's going to be shocking. The world will end if we ever actually finish in an hour.
Yeah. That's the whole like challenge.
And if you've ever done one of these, you realize how hard it is. An hour is not a lot of time when you have 4 people.
No.
At all.
But you subscribe to all the channels, including Horsepower Hour. I think we'll try and like re-upload this tomorrow. That's the plan. And just be looking for more content on there as well.
Every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Mountain, we're going to be live. Turn on them noties.
This show finished despite the host. How about that?
I think he's meaning that in a positive.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe.
Like people need to figure out how the hell to perform like Dave just performed today. So, my man. He hit you with the Dave, too. That's really casual. Eli, you're a little casual there, bro.
No,
yeah, Dave.
Eli's a homie, so he can do it.
That's true.
He had great comments.
That's true. Even us, we don't call him Dave though.
That's true.
No, my Buffs channel, everybody calls me Dave. It's just how it is.
And if Eli ever says some out of pocket shit, just remember that, guys, that Eli Betts is a Jets fan. All right, man. So it's very easy to just be like,
we're not all perfect, Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say real quick, like and subscribe to it's Horsepower Hour, I believe, on most of the handles. The email's not, but most of the handles everywhere else is. Thank you guys for sticking with us. That was so much fun. I can't wait till next week as well. But David Talks Broncos, Kodiak Broncos Podcast, Marquee Sports, and then I changed my handle since I'm upping my game a little bit into the Broncos sphere. Mine is Broncos Unbridled now. So my name on YouTube is Jeremy Sean, but Broncos Unbridled is my handle. If you guys want to follow me on that would be awesome. Subscribe.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll be out of here. AFC West champs in 2025. Doesn't matter what these two below say, or Mark. Maybe it was just Mark. What Mark says. Tonight, we ride. Let's ride.